Hey gods and goddesses, today we're going to be talking about the Saturn in Pisces retrograde happening on June 29, 2024. For me, because I am a Pisces rising, this is a really big transit for me and it's very impactful. So the people who are going to be impacted the most are the mutable signs: Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, but also Capricorn because it's ruled by Saturn, and Aquarius because Saturn is its traditional ruler. This retrograde is going to be happening at 19 degrees. If you have any signs between 19 and 20 degrees that are mutable, it's definitely going to affect you. So we're going to talk a little bit about Saturn, and then we're going to talk about how the retrograde is going to affect each sign. So Saturn is going to go back and be direct on November 15, 2024 at 12 degrees. But let's just talk a little bit about Saturn. Okay, so Saturn is nothing to play with. It's very harsh, very structured, very disciplined, very by the law. It has to do with karma. But on the flip side, I do want to say this about Saturn. It will give you out, like, it will give out harsh lessons, but it also will reward you for your efforts, right? In the most grand way. You can't even really fathom it right now, because Saturn is about long term. It's about being unmovable. Like, you must respect Saturn. You have to have a lot of respect for Saturn, because at the end of the day, Father Saturn pays out and make sure that all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into your projects, you put into yourself, is long lasting. Let's say you want to build up your body. I know I've been doing that for while Saturn has been in return in my first house, and it's long lasting results. It's like, usually like the next week is like, oh, I gained weight. But now it's like, no, the work that I'm putting in, it's really standing the test of time. So, it's hard work. It's really hard. You got to wake up every day. You're not motivated, but Saturn will reward you for these things. And the planet Saturn is about, justice, time, the bones, mountains, the cold, So people with Saturn return, even when it's sitting in the first house, it could be really cold, your bones can be cracking a little bit more. The planet Saturn has to do with resilience, getting up and doing it again, trying it over and over again until you get it. He's really trying to teach you that self-worth and responsibility, accountability, and self-acceptance is how you're going to move further. Saturn is trying to mature you, not out of being, your imaginative space, because it is in Pisces. But if you want that dream, you must go get that dream, and don't, whine and cry about it if, you're not willing to put in the work, you're not willing to put in the efforts to make this dream possible. With Saturn being in Pisces, anything is possible, because Pisces is about, the dream world, the ethers, it's about the imagination, spirituality. It is all about like how we can manifest in our lifetime by imagining it first, and then Saturn is like making it possible. So, Saturn can be the sign of obstacle, setback. It could be feeling like things are taking so long, and also like, there could be like this awareness of like, I am getting like more mature, and it is making me look a little bit more mature. I won't say, I don't believe in like ages and things of that nature. I just believe in like levels of wisdom. So, you keep going up and you keep gaining more wisdom. And Saturn makes that known, like, a little bit of gray hairs or something like that, but it's wisdom. It's maturing you so that you're able to approach life with no, your boundaries are set. You're not going to just come in and tear down everything that I worked so hard for, Saturn is also about like independence, blocks, hardships, trials and tribulations. But through these trials and tribulations, you learn resilience, and you learn how to really push forward when you really want to reach your goal. A lot of Capricorns are really successful because they do not stop. They keep going. They understand that, work is work, but if you have a passion for it and it really means so much to you, you will keep going. You will finish this, you will finish the project, you will finish building up your body, and like resilience, and being resilient and committed to your life goal and to your dreams, most importantly, and to what you want to make possible. See, with Pisces, it can feel as though the dream is like so far away, or no one would, how do you make it an intangible thing, because Pisces has to do with like the metaphysical world. And it's like, how can I make this possible? It could be like wanting to change the way that you look to look more like a angel or something like that, and wanted to get like your whole body like tattooed and stuff. But Saturn is like, do you really want to do that? If you really want to do that, I'll make it possible. How are you going to work how are you going to work towards this? If you want to become something, if you want to be an angel, how are you going to become an angel? Make a plan, structure it out. And Pisces is also the sign of like the realms of the ethers, the intuition, being compassionate, artistic, also being an escapist. When, with Pisces, it's like you imagine this world of bliss, of love, of compassion, of understanding, and of like intuitive, like connections and things of that nature. And, Saturn like really snaps you out of it. And it's like, not everybody is like you, and you can't go run and hide or like shy away from who you are. This is who you are, and you need to show up as this. Be compassionate towards others, but put up a boundary so that you're not taken advantage of. And this is the time like to really start imagining where you want to go in your spiritual path, because Pisces has to do with the spiritual realms, the realms of the ethers, the one that you can't always see, but that something is there, like God, Goddess, whoever you believe in. There is a certain level of like understanding that there is a powerful force that we're connected to, and that comes and aid us. There's an invisible force that is limitless, but it's up to us to really make it something tangible. And that's what Saturn here wants to teach us. So, during this transit, there can be like some type of spiritual truth. It is more so about reminding you of your goals, of what you want to get done, and like saying that you have to go do them, and you have to approach them with the resilience, even if you get knocked down, because you're going to experience this like, you can't see it yet. You don't know. See, that's the thing with me too. I always want to rush stuff, but you can't actually rush things. You have to just work towards them. Even if with Pisces, it's like, if I can imagine it, it's here. Like, it's already here. But, Saturn is like, let's vibrate and let's get, connected to it. Let's get through these blocks and let's get through these obstacles. Because in my mind, we're like computers, and let's say you get a virus, right? You got all these things you need to click out, all these viruses that you need to get through. It's not so much that you knew that it was going to be the virus, but you clicked on it. Now it's like you're witnessing this now, or you're going through this experience, and now it's up to you to break down these barriers. It is very harsh because it's not always what you thought it was. So this is basically, wanting to understand, Saturn and Pisces, wanting to understand life's mysteries. Like, what is spirituality? What is meditation? And then you can see also with Saturn being in Pisces, it started in March in 2024, more people like turn out to really understand that there is such a thing as called, a holistic health, medicines of plant that actually do help you, meditation that does help you, and all of these things from the ethers that do aid you in your life experience that we were missing out on because we were so distracted by all these viruses that are out, within like the matrix and things of that nature. And now it's just like, there's time for like compassion and understanding towards others, and being that way for yourself, but not allowing them to tear you down and put more viruses into your system, So that's what Pisces is like. You need to mature now. And so, Saturn and Pisces brings a sense of seriousness also to your emotional state. Yes, you can be emotional. Yes, you can, use your emotions to help you with your intuition, but don't let your emotions stop you and you get so down and depressed and you just have so much anxiety. But Saturn has to do with fear and anxieties and just like nerves, it just has to do with the nerves. And it's like, though you're going to go through all of that, how can you use like metaphysical practices like meditations, yoga, Pisces, Reiki, doing things like that to settle those nerves and keep moving forward, So, and not letting your emotions like literally cloud your judgment and like form a whole cloud of just destruction or self-undoing around you, because Pisces also has to do with addition and self-undoing. And with Saturn and Pisces, it could be easier for you to like stop with the addictions to you because it's going to start affecting your body, because Saturn is the bones. It is like the bone structure, and we need our bones to be able to, move our bodies and stuff. So you don't want to always like have it cracking or want to have it aching, your knees and stuff like that. You just want to, you want to stop doing the habits that are, self-harming towards you. You want to now move into more serious about taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health too, because the world is mental, the universe is mental. All of our mental powers go into making up our universe, and that's why it's important for us to, yes, remain serious and be goal oriented, but also release certain things that are just keeping us, stagnant and feeling like, who are we, kind of like an imposter, like, I don't know who I am, I can be anything, and getting more serious about who you are to reach these goals, right? And so Saturn and Pisces is also, it can be some setbacks. Yeah, you can be, your ideas can now be focused on more like cosmic influences, like I said, like the ethers. You want to focus on your spirituality and your health, and how it can help your whole body structure form into something completely different if you're willing to surrender and respect what planet Saturn is going to teach you. And it can be so freaking harsh, like breaking a bone, and you're like, "Ugh, now I gotta do this." And that's, it shouldn't have to get that far, because sometimes it will. Like, I won't lie, like Saturn today in my first house, it's like, he's literally, father is like on my mind, my brain all the time, and I just respect him so much, and I'm just like, wow, these lessons are very, very harsh, but it's giving me, a sense of like, wow, like, cosmic beings, we're really cosmic warriors. We're able to overcome so much that you think would tear you down and tear you apart, and you start to see yourself in these different ways. You have more compassion and more self-love for yourself, and you start loving yourself in a way that is not physical, but it's so much of internal forces. It's like loving the inner universe, and that's what Saturn is definitely trying to teach. And spiritual growth. It's time to work and understand the lies and stuff like that people tell, and secrets and things of that nature, and start using your intuition and diving deeper into the lessons of life, because life is about lessons. Like in the spiritual realm, in Pisces, you are protected. You want to protect yourself in a way by knowing, and by feeling too. But with Saturn, you are going to learn the lesson. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lesson, but it's also ways to avoid this. Ways to avoid this, or to not get around it, but to look at it in a different way, in a different perspective, and be like, oh, now I get what they're trying to teach. Now I get what self is trying to teach me. I would no longer allow that person into my space anymore. It's over and it's done with. I wish you well, and kick them out into the cold. No, don't do that. So, um, so this is ultimately meant to guide you towards self-realization and personal enlightenment. And I just feel like that is so important. Like, that is the most vital thing that you can ever hear and you can ever say to yourself. Self-acceptance, self-reliance, self-love, self-generation is so powerful, but also connection too. And so you could be wanting to like spend more time alone too, like, more time in solitude. You can be able to even like have conversations with God or Goddess, even better when you are alone, right? But you do need to build connections, but build connections that are going to last you longer. Use your intuition to like use your intuitive abilities to see and to be real and honest about your, like, who you allow within your circle, because it's very, it's very like, I mean, it's very what's that word I'm trying to get? I won't say harsh, but it's just very like heartbreaking when you thought something was something, but it wasn't. Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and you're like, wow, this person really doesn't want the best for me. And they don't, even if it's a family member, a child, it's somebody, you know, you have to set up boundaries, not completely throw them out, but now it's like, no, you're not going to tell me what I can do. This dream is possible, and I'm going to make this happen. And you got to be resilient and be ready to really get down to the nitty gritty, put those gloves on and start doing things for yourself. So, like, this year is like embarking on a spiritual journey for growth, embracing your life's purpose, and not forgetting that to have like empathy for others without letting them use you, without self-sacrificing. There, Pisces is forever giving. You have so much to give, but Saturn is about limit, boundaries. There is only so much you can give someone. Um, and that's, you know, that's like universal law. And so Saturn and Pisces, you know, Saturn is like the scientific approach. Like, we can prove that the bones crack because of what we, you know, eat, or what we do on a day-to-day basis, or it could be getting older or something like that. Pisces is like, no, I never age, you know, I never age. I am limitless, I am infinite. There's ways to get around this. Let me go figure it out. I am immortal, you know? And you know, it's just like combining the two and going for, you know, just needing to understand both, you know, understanding both. But still there's an invisible force here that we have access to, that can lead us to so many different like spiritual awakenings, and so many different like levels of higher knowledge and education. We must like understand that like our approach to life must be metaphysical, but also, you know, willing to do what it needs, you need to do with integrity to make your dreams possible. So Saturn and Pisces can also be like about building like a belief system around that everything is connected, and everything, you know, has its purpose. You know, even science has its purpose, metaphysics has its purpose, everything has its purpose, and it's about combining the two and really like understanding that they're all valid, they all have a place, you know, however it applies to your life is different for how it applies to others. But do not blindly believe in things outside of yourself without believing in yourself first. That is the main thing here with Saturn being in Pisces. So let's get started. We're going to start with Aries. Hey Aries, so if you watched the beginning of the video, I talked a lot about what Saturn and Pisces is, but let's talk about the Saturn and Pisces retrograde that's going to be happening in your 12th house. So Saturn and Pisces in the 12th house is opposite the 6th house of health and routine, which forms a sextile to the 2nd house of income, and that squares the 9th house of travel and higher knowledge. So when Saturn is stationed in retrograde in Pisces, it's best for you to take it easy, you know, get some sleep, get some rest, relax your body, and basically start considering your responsibilities, start considering what you're focusing your energy and things of that nature on. Because, you know, with Saturn is taking steps towards a goal, little steps for a large and grander plan. So get some rest during this time, and really try to like consider your personal approaches, your personal plans. What are your obligations? You know, spending some time alone, maybe even spending some time away from that. um, just spending some time like going over it, but also just resting, you know. um, So you're learning more deeply about, your spiritual goals, what you want to make possible. This is the time to tie up any loose ends, things that are not really working out for you. Not completely getting rid of things, but just getting rid of things that, are not deeply rooted in your spiritual well-being and your spiritual growth, or the vision that you have for yourself. Especially, if it's not about your soul's purpose. It's time to like lay it down for a little bit. Saturn in the 12th can definitely feel like a little bit heavy, because Pisces is limitless, and Saturn is limited. Like, it's like boundaries. So it's like a push and pull, especially within the subconscious. So it's just time for you to focus on what you can really what is really your purpose here, and how you can make those things possible. Take some time alone, most importantly. That's really how you start to figure things out, and things start to make a little bit more sense. So, you can sense that, it's time to like switch gears, maybe adjust a little bit, and start welcoming this new approach towards life, or this new approach, or how you can fulfill your soul's missions, or even a goal or a dream that you have. It's definitely like, don't start like making any big plans, because it's in a retrograde. So it's like making you just think back to, okay, what are your plans again? It's like, what are you doing again? What do you want to do again? Just thinking that over. And it's most importantly sorting through your subconscious beliefs, rearranging your subconscious beliefs, because they may be like outdated right now. So, um, you know, returning, to your soul's purpose can be very rewarding right now, because now you can really see, this is what I want to do. I thought I wanted to do that, but I don't. I want to do this. This makes me want to get up. This gets me out of my depression rut. Like, putting my focus on this is actually what makes me happy. So, during this time, this will be the time to like follow in your what makes you happy, your wildest and heart's desires. Follow those. Follow like what you cannot live without. What do you think about when you get up every day? Um, this can be something that you feel as though it's not tangible, but it is. But you just have to make plans and really think things out, and just take accountability for things that are happening around you, or the self-sabotage behaviors that you have, or the impulses that you do have. Just start taking accountability for those, because then it will start to uncover ways to actually get there. Because if you're blocked, especially within the subconscious, it's hard to really start thinking about how you can get out of it. More so just like you're dwelling in it. Um so um also, like, what comes naturally to you, not what's easy, but what comes naturally to you, and you want to learn about more about. It's about learning more about something, to make it something that is tangible, and make it something that that you're proud of, most importantly. And so there, you may be able to now hear the voice of Saturn, like, you need to do this, son, or you need to do this, daughter. Or you just start hearing like voices talk to you. It could be in your own voice, and you start like feeling like you're actually guided towards something. um, like, this is definitely all going to be in your subconscious, all in your mind, but it is real. I do believe that these signs and signals are real. The voices that you hear are real. They're trying to tell you something, especially if you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Um, so definitely cry it out if you need to, because 12th house also has to do with like self sabotaging behaviors. um so Saturn is really trying to help you hone in on your intuition by tuning in attention to your inner world, your inner universes, and the habits that you inhabit daily that make that make you have these setbacks, or Saturn is making you have these setbacks, but that actually hold you back from feeling like, I can do this, I am proud to do this. Um, my creativity is going to speak for itself. You know, but the 12th house and Saturn, they have to do with karma. So with this whole Saturn return in Pisces, it's about, in Pisces has to do with karma too. It's about clearing up the karmic cycles and the karmic patterns, traumas that you have, you've got for your ancestors, the one that you made. It's really about clearing those and making room for new traditions, for better cycles. This is definitely clearing up any like spiritual and emotional baggage that you have, any type of mental baggage, any type of mental illnesses. It's like, get serious about it. If you have, a mental illness, start talking to someone. you know Enough with the like imposter syndrome, like, what if this, what if that, or I can't do this, I cannot do that. Yeah, Saturn makes it feel like we can't do a lot, but also Pisces reminds you that you can do anything. um so, this is really deep work. It's deep inner work. It's not easy to go inward and start facing things that you have believed for so long. It is not easy. It really isn't. You have to face the shadows that lie within you and have them become armor for you. It can be really challenging for you to like verbal the soul level shifts that you're experiencing, or what you're experiencing within your mind. Like I said, the voices, maybe it's hard for you to talk about them, but you can feel them. You know that it's real. You know that something is going on, within your universe, within your inner universe. But definitely spending some time in solitude, or even seeing a therapist if you need help, like with, a um, mental formula, to change your mental formula. It can really empower you to move forward, Aries. And just focus on like prioritizing yourself, your well-being, your mental health, and protecting your peace by putting up boundaries behind things, places, people, and experiences that you no longer want to have anything to do with. So yes, that's all that I have for you. Like, if you don't want anything to do with, a certain friend group, or, a certain, pattern that you've been having, you don't know how to get out of it, it's time for you to just start to admit that maybe I need some help. Maybe I need to talk to people in the best way that I can verbalize this and get some help doing this. So let's choose a message from tarot. We got to pull out the big dogs because Saturn is serious, okay? So let's choose a message for you, Aries. Let's see who you are embodying right now. Okay, we have the Six of Wands. We have the Six of Wands, but it was in reverse. So you could be feeling as though, a little bit disappointed in yourself. And once again, like feeling like you failed at something, feeling fear behind something, and just feeling like everything, all the work that you've been putting out, it's not achieving what you hope that it would. You have to be patient with yourself. You really have to be patient with yourself, Aries, and you have to love yourself through it. It is difficult to deal with Saturn, but respect Saturn, because at the end of this transit, you will be unrecognizable. Like, your thoughts and your patterns will have more control within your life. You'll be able to think those thoughts that bring life into you and that brings what you want into the world. You ever think about something and then it appears, that will be you, Aries, when you just learn to just surrender. You have to surrender to the 12th house. You have to surrender to yourself and to what life wants you to go, and surrender to your soul, Aries. It is so, so important. And just letting go of the lack mindset and start thinking of the abundant mindset and the soul fulfilling mindset. Definitely take notes and start writing things out. So that's all I have for you, Aries. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, Taurus. So Taurus, Saturn and Pisces is going to be happening. within your 11th house, and this is opposite the 5th house of creativity, and that forms a sextile to the first house of your self-identity, your brain structure, how you see life, and that forms a square with the 8th house of inheritance and other people's money. So Saturn retrograde in your 11th house, um Saturn can be asking you to like form a shift in your perspective, the way that you making friends, like are they worthy, the way that you're networking. This is a lot about like your long-term goals and success and what brings you happiness. And if the friends and the friends group around you are actually bringing you that sense of, yes, you can do it. Don't waste time with these people. You will be shown this, or you will be reminded of this when planets go retrograde. It is you thinking back. So it's like bringing these thoughts back. This is going to be 4.5 months, so bringing these thoughts back in order for you to take them seriously. If this friend group is not working out for you and it does not align with you anymore, you have to be honest with yourself and take responsibility, for yourself and accountability for your actions. So it's really important for you to recognize that you do have enough time to resolve problems. Saturn makes it feel like you don't have enough time or you're running out of time. Whenever we do get to like ages, I always believe that it's just a level of wisdom. I don't believe in ages because I'm a Pisces rising, and there's an infinite way about life. You know what I'm saying? You can literally age backwards when you care and take care of yourself, and you get in touch with the invisible forces around you that exist. You can't always see it, but they exist. So Taurus, this could be you trying to rebuild, restructure things that can be beneficial to you in the long run, whether it's cutting out, the friend group. And these things are not easy at all. They are very, complex. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of resilience. And just admitting it to yourself is definitely the first step. So there's some increases, some expansion that can lead to a lot of stress, rather than joy, because it's like, you could be going further with this friend. You guys can be collaborating, or you can be in groups where it's finally, maybe it is taking off, or it is heading in a direction, but you're like, wait, I really don't want to do this. And, it's like you want to tone it down a little bit. So like you want to get things in like a more order sense, like you want to have more order. So focusing on like current situations or current projects can be rewarding. Not starting anything new, but just focusing on your dreams, your goals, and your wishes and your hopes that you want to make happen in the future, and focusing on them right now. So we know how valuable like our energy is. We have to be careful towards where you're giving it to, who you're giving it to. It's really important for us to realize that people don't call you, don't call them. And it is a two-way street, but if you're always calling them, there is it's time for you to like shift that and get serious about yourself. Like look at yourself as someone who is important and someone who is valuable, and you will value me. Like Saturn is going to teach you to mature that you will value me, you will respect me in the most kindest way possible. So the most compassionate way possible, because we're talking about Saturn and Pisces. So this is you taking new approaches, or even old studies about learning, things of that nature. Learning more about your projects, you can like stop them and wanting to learn little bit more. Um, just being selective about just the company that you're keeping is really, really, really important during this time. Saturn in your house of friendships and communities is like, he's like, you have to start reevaluating the people that are in your life, and tightening your circle. 5 friends is okay, even 4 friends is fine. Just make sure they value you as much as you value them. excuse me, it's really important for you to surround yourself with people who inspire you. That's definitely so, important, that because that brings out the best within you, especially surrounding yourself with people who want to reach the same goals as you, but they're supportive of these goals. People can want to reach goals, but they're not happy when you just reach a little milestone. You have to pay attention to that. Not that it matters, because no one's happiness is your happiness, but if they're, you're in your friend group, they should be happy. So um this is about, like, you can, just be evaluating your hopes and your dreams and wishes, and start building the type of community in your life that wants to build with you from the ground up, or you building from the ground up, and not wasting your time on people, places, and things that don't align with the vision that you have for yourself. And the vision that you have for yourself is very serious, and it's very, it's very dear to you, it's very important to you, and you have to make this goal and dream a reality. You must, because Saturn is going to push you to it. Definitely, if you start talking to yourself and telling yourselves that you want to make this possible, that's what they're going to expect of you. So, Saturn also has to do with, like, your body structures and stuff. So don't say things that you don't mean. Definitely during this time, because the universe is always listening. Let's choose a message from tarot. I pull out the tarot deck because this is definitely a serious matter right here. Saturn is not playing. What do we have? Okay. Oh, wow. Taurus, look what you have. You have the star. I don't doubt it. Taurus, your energy is so valuable. You're so loyal. You're so loving. You show up when, you show up for people. You're there for people. You're always willing to give that helping hand, give that helping advice. The star here talks about you, trusting, inspiration, being positive, thinking positively about your goals, even if people don't support them, the people around you, still finding the light and realizing that you are the star. You are the star of your own show, and you must still be resilient. Even if you got knocked down, you must get up and keep going, keep using, keep inspiring others, and keep helping, and keep going in the direction that inspires you. It definitely inspires you to be better. And this is about hope and direction. And this definitely has to do with the 11th house. So just surrounding yourself with people who have faith, because it's important for you to have faith within yourself, Taurus. That's all I have for you, Taurus. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Gemini. So Gemini, Saturn in Pisces is in your 10th house right now. So it's opposite the 4th house of your emotional state, sexth house, the 12th house of healing, inner work, inner demons, and shadow work, and forms a square to the 7th house of, like, one-on-one connections and your best friends. So with Saturn going in retrograde, like, this can really get you to shine the light on your goals. What are your current goals? What are your current projects, your endeavors? What are you interested in? And you may feel like a little bit of a shift in your perspective when it comes to your long-term goals, your responsibilities, and even your life path. Like, where are you headed in life? How you take responsibility for your life, and you are the authority of your own life, or being shown up as an authority figure, or what is your public image. Like, all of these things come into, like, perspective, because it's like when Saturn went in Pisces in March 2023, what he was trying to teach you was to take your image much more seriously. And now, you could have been driving, like, doing it, and it's very slow. It's like all these obstacles. It's like, can I just get there? Can I just, like, get the career I want? Can I just build the legacy I want? But now this is like you thinking back to the reason of why you even started it. And Saturn is time, limits, and Pisces is no time, no limits, boundless, boundaries, boundless. It's a really fun combination because it's like your dreams can definitely be made real, but you have to get through certain like programs and viruses, you know, within the mind and blocks within the mind in order to really make these things tangible. So you know, this is you thinking about your life path, how to expand or increasing your career, your reputations, you know, develop. This can develop a little bit, you know, of stress because Saturn has to do with like stress, fear, anxieties, the nerves, you know, feeling like, oh my goodness, like I'm running out of time. Like it was just 5 o'clock. Now it's, you know, 100 o'clock. Now it's 1 o'clock or 1 a.m. And, you know, this time just moves, seems to move so fast. You know, like we're like running after things. It's that time to really like slow down and like just take the journey inward, you know, and you know, reevaluating like your relationships and things of that nature. So this is time to, you know, start thinking about matters related to sharing, intimacy, you know, your addictions and dependency. Um, just start thinking about like what, you know, your relationships, like are you showing up being intimate? Are they showing up being intimate? What about, you know, their addictions and monies, and how do you depend on them and how they depend on you? Just you like really taking this time to think things out and to make a plan in order to further it and make it better, or go back to the plan that you originally had and start remembering what you even are here for. um, what you're even like doing all of this for. And you know, just like getting more serious about, you know, your life path and letting go of like the imposter syndrome, because we all have that when we start doing something new, or we start doing something that's really important to us and we feel like it's in our life path, and literally God came down or goddess came down and told us we should do this. The universe planted this seed in us for a reason, to have these things thought out. But it takes you to literally vibrate with this. So you have to release the blocks, you have to get through the obstacles, you have to be resilient, you have to get knocked down, punched down, get up and start walking again, and still have this deep compassion for yourself, and still have this self-love that pushes you to move forward. So like just time to like just let go of that, you know, imposter syndrome, like, oh, what if, you know, this, what if this. Anytime you start something that's really serious to you, always gonna start from like the bottom level, you know, but you're gonna work yourself up as time goes on. You're gonna be so proud of yourself, Gemini. Just taking that first step is you know, it's gonna like have you glowing up, um or just remembering why you took the first step, because this is something that you had to have been working toward, because Saturn is in return right now, and there's no way that you're not thinking about, there's no way. um so so Saturn and Pisces, like entering, you know, your public image of the 10th house, you know, this could yeah, this brings definitely blocks, and it brings like a you know, you start thinking about your professional life a lot more, like I want to get serious about this, how do I, but having some like anxieties behind this. Maybe you got to let go of like some addictions, or maybe you got to settle some debts or something like that. Debts are so like ridiculous. It's just, what am I in debt for? I'm just here. Like I'm just here. I was just brought here like you. What am I paying for? Paying for water and um, fruits. It's just like a freaking it's ridiculous, right? And okay, let's go back. So you're trying to build an empire for yourself, but to build a legacy, it does not happen overnight. It requires you to really dedicate yourself to these things. um and the blocks and stuff, I just, you know what I think too, it's like when you're trying to reach a goal, Gemini, you have all these blocks that come up because you were told you have programming that you have to get rid of, and you think that you're getting rid of it. But you know, Pisces rules over the 12th house, and it's the subconscious mind. You actually have to go inside and start meditating, start working on what's actually stopping it, because you could be consciously thinking about something, but subconsciously you don't believe that it can happen. And it takes really like getting serious and getting honest with yourself, taking accountability for that. Like, yeah, I want to be a million, I want to be, but you don't really think that you can. Or you think that you have to work hard for it, instead of working to build up yourself so that you can make this possible. And like, you have to just, I wouldn't say blindly believe, but you know how Pisces is a little bit like delusional. You have to be delusional. Like Saturn and Pisces, be delusional about your goals, work towards them, and that's how you make them possible. It's not really delusion, it's just this belief and knowing. So you have to get real, getting real about these things, your accomplishment, your shortcomings, and just taking time to, taking steps and taking time to build up your authority figure, to build up your legacy, to build up your dreams, to build up your goals. It does take time. It does take time. So, you know, you could be thinking a lot about this because you are, a mutable sign as Pisces too, and you're ruled by Mercury, so you're really thinking about this. You got all these thoughts, these fast-paced thoughts, like, and it could be slowing you down a little bit because it could be like placing fear within the mind. It's really important that you go inward. You go inward. You have to, because great success and like foundation and legacy and building up the career, what the career that you want, it doesn't happen overnight. But at the end of this transit, in 2025, you will feel much more confident within what you have established. You'll be able to like really have and find your place within the field of your liking. So let's choose a message from tarot, and let's see what your spirit guides want for you to know. Tarot, because this is a little bit of a more, Saturn is like, don't play with me. Like, you better respect me. And I respect you, Saturn. So it's a little bit more serious now. So you have the Seven of Wands. Okay. And the Seven of Wands, it shows up as you being like determined, you protecting what's yours, fighting for what you think is right. This is perfect for you, Gemini. Working hard towards the goals that you absolutely want. Okay, but taking a journey inward. You see the solar plexus chakra, that has to do with our well-being, our willpower, our confidence. How you get in our nerves and things of that nature. It's like you get nervous. This is also a brain right here. If you start getting bottled up in knots and stuff, grab a crystal, a citrine crystal, and place it on your stomach and remind yourself, like, I'm working towards this goal because I want to make this possible. I have love and self-compassion for myself. Calm down. Like, I have to calm down. And this just says, this is just, like, you have to, it also has Mars here. You have to take initiative, not be, so single-minded. Definitely be optimistic because we're talking about Pisces. However, stay determined, stay persistent, okay? Stay consistent, Gemini. And just know that whatever you want, it definitely can be made possible. But it starts with you, and it starts with getting rid of those blocks that exist within your programming. So that's all that I have for you, Gemini. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Gemini. Hey, Cancer. So, Cancer. This retrograde in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, is going to be in your 9th house. Your 9th house, of travel, of higher learning, higher education, publishing, is going to be opposite the 3rd house of communication and your siblings and your mind. And this forms a sextile to the 11th house of your goals, friends, and communities. And this also, Saturn and Pisces also forms a square with the 6th house of health and your day-to-day routine. So this Saturn retrograde cycle, like you're encouraged to like slow down and start considering, you know, your plans, your goals, where you want to actually travel, what you want to learn, what type of this house has to do with like astrology too, and numerology, and just like metaphysical learning, just higher frequencies of learning, going, you know, to travel, eating something. Um, that has information. Remember, when we eat, it like holds like information. So, you know, just getting more serious about it, like considering maybe having a stricter perspective around your responsibilities that you're currently, you know, inhabiting right now. You know, this can feel really heavy because if it feels like you're way down with responsibility, but it's going to start, you know, going away, start like subsiding because, you know, Saturn and Pisces, it's going to make you remember what you even started this for, and definitely getting some rest and going and start learning, maybe taking a class, um, and just start learning more, because learning more can really like free up, you know, the nerves and anxiety that Saturn causes. Um, so, um, So your plans and projects may feel like, oh my goodness, like they're not moving anywhere. Why is it not happening? It's taking so much time. But remember that Saturn is a planet that has to do with time, and Pisces is a sign that doesn't know what time it is. What time is it? And remember, it's like combining the two. It's like combining, you know, two forces of seriousness, but one of deep compassion, and like knowing that my dreams are going to be made reality when I work towards them with passion, with drive, with understanding and knowing and respect to myself. Um, so, you know, you might have to reevaluate like your motivation. Stay consistent, because you won't always be motivated. Sometimes it may feel like it's just too much, it's too much pressure. All of this is too much pressure to learn, is too much pressure to speak, is too much pressure. This day-to-day habits is just too much pressure. But don't let it weigh you down. You have to commit to some of them, and commit to the ones that truly are dear to your soul's purpose, because Pisces is about the soul, your soul's mission. um, you know, but also being like a little bit of a realist when it comes to, you know, assessing these goals and how much time and energy and focus you actually have to put towards these goals. And, you know, this is actually time for like, you know, editing your writing, um, definitely like editing your writing, building on projects and things of that nature, building like boundaries behind them, structuring and like stabilizing your efforts that you're putting towards it. Like this just means like putting, you know, let's say 1 hour a day for each project, or for each goal that you have, or for each like learning project that you have to do. But get realistic about it. Like, how much time do you actually have to spend focusing on this? You have to definitely put your, you know, higher learning first, but it just feels so much pressure because everyone needs you. You know, maybe your siblings, your friends, even the father can need you. So this can also be, you know, this can also affect, you know, your perspective, you know, even the way you study, your traveling, even legal matters too, um, or even, you know, like your unions, your close relationships, your father, most importantly, or if you don't have a father, like some type of masculine energy. Um, and if you are a father, then that is will affect you as well. It's just making you feel like more heavy and like tired and slow and sluggish. Um, um, it's time for you to shift your perspective behind these things, though, because are you really slow? Are you really sluggish? Or are you just giving your energy to things that are just like not doing anything for you? You have to follow in your soul's mission. And you know, with Saturn, you can feel like you have to do these things, but you also have to let go of old ideas. And letting go of old ideas is not easy. It's like ideas are what's weighing you down, because our minds are like computers, in my opinion. We have all these programs and all these blocks that exist, and like Saturn comes here for you to remove these blocks, but it's not easy because when a virus like pops up on your computer, you got to constantly like be clicking X, but it makes it look appealing, right? Oh, download this, and then all of a sudden you have a virus. That's how it is with the programming, because you think it's right, just like your parents, or your siblings or your friends. They can think it's right, but they're actually putting blocks up in, the mind. And these turn into like a whole belief system. That's what makes it, difficult to let go of. And developing like a more like resilient point of view, and a more like, I can change, I can do this, and getting out of the depressive, heavy feelings, and trying to get into more like the Piscean feelings of like a willingness to do it, like compassion for yourself for doing it, loving for yourself for doing these things, or even for getting up every day. Just finding, some type of like angle that is of like being grateful in a way. Excuse me. Cancer, you never want to with the chance, you never want to underestimate or downplay your wisdom. You have a lot of wisdom right here, being in the ninth house, or you're developing on a lot of wisdom, and it's not just this below surface like 1+1 is 2. It's like literally like universal equations you're solving, Cancer. What else do I see? I see like you must, get serious and start like buckling down on, you know, um, even like taking a form of study like that you want to take, taking, um, doing something new, or doing something that you wanted to do when this whole transit started back in March 2023, that you've been putting off, even like certificates that you've been putting off, in this house. You could want to be like a Reiki master, publish a book or something like that. Just, getting certain certifications, and not so much certification, but like you learning it. Learning in this house, like your learning turns into wisdom. So like just focusing on your education, gathering information from the experiences of your life, and moving. This will help you move through the world way much more differently, because now you're building a belief system on what your soul actually believes in, and you're letting that guide you into knowing that you can make your goals possible, and when you learn how to. So let's choose a message from tarot. This transit, I feel like it's a little bit more serious, like getting more serious about yourself. That's why I feel like tarot works perfectly for this. Let's see what type of energy you're embodying right now. So you have the Six of Swords, but it is in reverse. So this tells me there's like this difficulty of letting go, but like I said, it's not easy to let go. It's not easy to transform. It's not easy because you build up this whole belief system. You build up all these programs that you believed in. How is it like they're not believable anymore? That's because, Pisces is like limitless. There's so many different ways and infinite ways that things are possible. That Pisces is about metaphysical, but Saturn is about this scientific. Combining those two, and understanding that your belief system was helpful in some type of way in one period of life, but it's no longer helpful, and now it's time for you to build a whole new outlook and a whole new perspective on what is happening for you and how it can help you move forward. It's not easy though. I know I keep saying that, but it's time for you to definitely like move on and just move away from things that it's not working for your program anymore. It's time for you to change the program. So that's all that I have for you. And just making these like core beliefs. Our belief systems are supposed to change, and the core beliefs that you truly believe inside, rearranging your mind, or even learning about it, can help you rearrange your mind. So that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Cancer. Hey, Leo. So, Leo, the Saturn and Pisces transit is going to be happening in your 8th house of other people's money, your psyche, and this is opposite the 2nd house of self-worth, your confidence, forms a square, forms a sextile, to the 10th house of public image, then forms a square to the 5th house of creativity. So, Leo, this Saturn and Pisces is encouraging you now to kind of slow down. Our psychological nature is the most precious thing that we can have in this reality, because everything is mental. The universe is definitely mental and it's internal. And you could be thinking about like your priorities, because Saturn is more of like a serious father figure, a tough love father figure. And thinking about your priorities, your responsibilities, uh, with this transit, you can be like prone to a lot of like judgment, a lot of growing pains you will definitely feel, and maybe even making some errors when it comes to the way that you're thinking about yourself, the way that you're talking to yourself, um, the way you're settling debts, the way that you're supporting your emotional health. This can really be impacting that and making you feel a little bit like of judgment towards yourself or towards the way that you're thinking about something. So this is definitely growing pains for you, Leo. Um, it's time for you to like shift your perspective, but just think about it. Saturn going retrograde, it's like thinking back about why you even started this, and why did you even get in this partnership? Why did you think about changing your psyche? It's very difficult when Saturn is here, because Saturn puts up blocks within. Saturn doesn't put up blocks. Our programs, we block ourselves, and Saturn is trying to get us to overcome these obstacles, to overcome these things that happen in our life, whether it's like debt or something like that, whether it's intimacy, whether it is having to die within our character in order to transform into another character. 8th house is to do with transformation. Leo is a fixed sign. You cannot be resistant towards change. You have to kind of just surrender to the change and surrender to the fact that your mind makes up your universe. And it's really important for you to always understand how it does, impact your life. So this time you can feel, a little bit heavy during this time, but just know that it's temporary. It's not something that's going to last forever. Just tend to your emotional support, even changing your perspective around your debts, around the way that you're getting support, the relationships that you have towards your business partners, your daily routine that's making your day-to-day job, your routine that's making you feel heavy. Just reevaluating and trying to change your perspective towards it, knowing that it's not something that you have to do. You only have to do what your soul's mission is telling you to do. It's something but you have to get through certain blocks within the psyche and start rearranging and transforming in order to see that, in order to notice that, in order to really make sense of the things that are happening within your life. So you will really need to attend to your assets, how you spend money, how your partners spend money, what you invest in, and put your time and energy and investing into like dealing with these certain things. Like Saturn is about taking responsibility for things, so just taking responsibility for yourself, accountability for yourself. These delays and these obstacles, they come up so that you can jump over them and you can realize that you are resilient. But first you have to take a good look in the mirror and really like assess what's going on in yourself, and start restructuring and like recognizing things that are happening in your life, just simplifying them, the debt and things of that nature. Like, do you really, I don't like things of that. I don't like debt. Like, I don't like having to pay for water and like fruits. I don't like that. It's just, honestly, it's ridiculous. It's kind of sick. But it's like now, Pisces, just taking a more broader approach, like, okay, I must eat, right? I must do this. Let me try to simplify my life and simplify my mind so I can stabilize my life. And it's the father is going to have you just like going over these things. And that's what a retrograde is, making a sense of these benefits that you do have access to. Because Pisces is like, you have infinite knowledge, you have access to the ethers. If you choose to take the journey within Leo, and it may feel like, it's my fault, it's this, it's that. And, Saturn will make you feel like anxiety behind this, fearful about this. And it is true, it is your fault. We all have to take accountability for the things that we do in our life, but it doesn't stop there. It's not at fault, it's a lesson. It's not you faulting, like, oh my gosh, let me just go and like be depressed now. It's about like closing that door and reopening it, own it, to face it. So this is a time to really like bring the skeletons out of the closet too, and just like I said, just face it. You face it head on with the mindset of like, I take full accountability for the things that have happened, that the the monies, the paper monies I may pay back, the my physical health, I take accountability for all those things, and all the good stuff, my psyche and things of that nature, and I make it into something positive, and I make it work for me. Leo, you know you are a sign of like wearing your heart on your sleeve. So it's very easy, to take advantage, for other people to take advantage of that. Maybe that's even why you got into debt, because you believed in other people way too much. And Saturn is teaching like, okay, boundary now. Boundary, I can trust in your assets and also still think about mine. How is it gonna affect me? So um, you know, this can be this can be a really vulnerable part of the chart because it's ruled by a Scorpio. So it's feeling. It's like, I feel this way, and it could be, making you vulnerable, make you feel even a little bit more, kind of like it's weighing you down, and just like being thinking about these situations and feeling a little bit out of control, it may seem like, but still being in that resilient nature, because Scorpio has to do with resilience as well. All of these things are overwhelming because Saturn is about fear, it's about, tough love. But Pisces is about compassion and love. You have to combine the two in order to really, pay the financial debt. Think about the how your account is looking and things on that nature, how you're spending money, like thinking about the challenges that you face, and the sensitiveness about it and the vulnerability around it, and really deepening the intimacy towards self so that you can better take on these challenges or these issues head on. It's very uncomfortable because transitioning and transformation is so freaking uncomfortable. It's like, I don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And Pisces will push you to do it, and it will push, he will push you to like let go of that baggage and start looking the underneath the surface. Eighth house has to do with like underneath the surface, and start handling situations that are challenging, but being mature about it and coming to it like, this is not going to ruin my confidence, and even if it has, I'm going to still build up my confidence around this. So it's really an emotional time for you. Um, but not so much where you're not emotionally intelligent. You can learn emotional intelligence when the emotions come in, when it's a time to be like a little bit more like, okay, this is not really that serious, this is just someone trying to overstep my boundaries. And that's when their emotions start flooding into you, because Pisces is a sign of chameleon. They're able to pick up on energies very, very quickly, which means you're able to pick up on other people's energies very quickly, other people's debts, other people's monies, and things of that nature. So no matter how uncomfortable it is, you have to, get real about your attachments, your entanglements, the power struggles that you're facing. Like I said, their thing, causing you to, them overstepping your boundaries, and it, being harder on you. And don't worry, like, these things always happen within our life experience. It's not something to get really, so depressed about, but it can feel like, oh my goodness, it can feel like the end of the world because, you know, so doing with Saturn is more, it's more seriousness, you know, and Leo is about joy and fun and creativity, and it just gets like, because it's square to the fifth house of Leo, it's like it gets the creativity gets suppressed, almost like you can't really do it, or you feel like you can't really do it, but you can do anything, Leo. So just setting strong boundaries will help you start freeing yourself for, you know, freeing yourself for other people's baggage or for your own baggage, or start helping you see things a little bit more clearly, and you'll be able to like free up this you know, emotional, or these debts, or these vulnerable parts of yourself, or these challenging parts of yourself that you need to face in order to rearrange your subconscious mind. So let's choose a message from tarot. I think this trend's a little bit more serious, so I had to pull a transit card. You have one that popped out already, and you have the Empress. I love this. The Empress is a divine feminine. It's nurturing creativity. So during this time, Leo, try to nurture your creativity. Though, you know, it may seem so distant. It may seem like, oh my God, I need to jump over this. Or I don't even have time to be creative. I don't have time to draw. I don't have time to sing. You have to make time, even if it's just an hour in a day, because that's what your soul actually wants to do. And it can release and help uncover, you know, the self-sabotaging behaviors, and really get you to focus on what truly matters. And what matters is your divine feminine, is your creativity, is your divine masculine. It matters because those are things that help you keep balance in your day-to-day routine, in your subconscious mind. And it's also releasing things that do not serve you and ideas that do not serve you. So this is definitely a beautiful card for you, Leo, the Empress. I love that. So that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Bye, Leo. Hey, Virgo. So Virgo, we have the Saturn and Pisces happening in your 7th house. So the 7th house is opposite to the 1st house of self, forms a sextile to the 9th house. And the 9th house is about travel, your belief systems, and things of that nature. Your higher learning forms a square to the 4th house of your emotional state. So this is really an emotional time for you. And with Saturn turning retrograde, you know, you're not really used to this heavy energy, things slowing you down, you not being able to serve others, not being as useful as, you know, you are, because, you know, the body, Saturn rules the bones, and it can make you feel like you're older than you actually are. Just know that this is definitely temporary, Virgo, and, you know, you can be weighed down, maybe even feeling a little bit disoriented, for just a brief amount of time. It's best for you to take time to think about your priorities, think about your relationships. How are they weighing you down? Your significant others, your best friends, are they weighing you down? Are they making you a priority? You know, it's just time for you to think about that, and time for you to like change your perspective behind these things, your responsibilities to them, their responsibilities to you, but more so just analyzing yourself. Not being self-critical, and not being like sabotaging within the things that you say to yourself, but being just observant, like, I see this because this is actually happening. Not I see this because this is what I want to see, because that's what Pisces does. Pisces wants to romanticize things and makes us believe things that are not actually true, and just want to just love everything and love everyone. And you can have given yourself to unions and friends and things of that nature for way too long. And Saturn's like, no, it's time for you to set boundaries behind people that don't actually deserve you, Virgo. So just reviewing your goals and things of that nature, and even your business plan that you have with another person, because 7th house can deal with like our business partners. So just Saturn is like reminding you to take advantage of the work that you put into it, and put into your life, the self-love that you put into yourself. You know, just reminding you to take advantage of those things, because you need to do what stabilizes your the areas in your life, especially the critical ones, like it is the seventh house of other people and how they love us, and that really does impact our whole mindset. You know, it just takes over the mind, makes us nervous when we feel like they're doing something, we feel like they're lying, our stomach is hurting. So it's just important for us to like just start thinking about our relationships, our creative pursuits, you know, children, projects, the connection with, you know, our purpose and how, you know, these relationships affect that. It's about putting up boundaries, not so much of just throwing people out into the cold, but putting up boundaries. Like, you have to do what you need to do in your life experience, Virgo. Otherwise, it's going to make you very unhappy if you feel like you're not fulfilling your soul's purpose. And a lot of Virgos are like doctors and things of that nature, because they're naturally self-serving others. But as you know, as a doctor, you still must take care of yourself. Your well-being is very important. The way that you know, put nutrition into your body, the way that you eat things, food has information. You want to eat things that, you know, make you feel good, that fill up your cup, so that way you can help others fill up their, you know, cup. And you know, this is just about like simplifying your responsibilities, whether, you know, it's with your, you know, children, or with your partner, you know, with your mother, because the square is the fourth house, because this is definitely your emotional state towards your mom, towards your family, that can definitely have impacted your life. You can have responsibility towards them. You know, you can have some type of connection with them that is very emotional, that it makes it feels like you have to do it, you have to take care of them, they're running out of time. And just, you know, being cautious of, it may feel like that right now, but you have to take care of yourself first, Virgo, and it'll start to make sense too over time. So, you know, it's time for you to, like, maybe if you need to take, like, during this transit started in March 2023. So it's been about a year now, a little bit over a year for this Saturn being in return, but now it's going in retrograde again. And this is like, you know, you, like, the relationships that you're in, the unions that you're in, your best friends, like, this is the make or break period. Have they survived or not? Can they survive or not? Do they want to survive? Do they tell you that I want to do this with you? You are important to me. If these words never come from them, it's really time you observe their behaviors now. Observe the way that you're communicating with now. Even if, you know, it's your mother, yeah, your family should always want the best for you, but they don't always know what's best for you, especially when it's something like outside of the box and something that you want to do for yourself, which is, you know, it can be anything. Like I said, being a doctor, not, you know, it takes a long time to be this, but once you're, you know, a doctor, you're able to serve and give to others. You know, you are at a place of authority. That's what Saturn is. It's like, and sometimes people like shine their cloud on us because they can't do it, you know, and it's not something that they're doing consciously. They subconsciously do this out of fear. Saturn brings a lot of fear out of people. So your relationships, like, they can feel like, oh my goodness, like, you're moving up to the next step and I'm not doing anything. Let me bring you down and start making you have all these illusions about you're not doing anything, you're coming back down. And now it's time to see, like, are they dragging me down with them? Why don't they want me to do better? They can do better too. I would love to help them do better. But you have to just start figuring out, like, exactly who you want to be committed to, if they want to be committed to them, to you, you know, in business and pleasures and things of that nature. And just like, now it's time for you to like level up, like, your standards, your boundaries. What will you allow? It's like, now, Virgo, after this journey, you're gonna know what you want in a partner. You're gonna know how you want your partner to show up for you. You're gonna know how you want to serve your partner, and what you need from them in return. You're gonna know what you need, how you want to be loved. That's so beautiful. I love that for you, Virgo. And you know, you're gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. You know, Saturn's gonna mature you. I'm not gonna deal with people who just want to drag me down and use me for my services, but they won't lift me up. Like, I'm tired of that, you know. And this is just about like you starting to figure out, like, how, you know, this has been causing challenges within your life, and, you know, just building up your standards, taking more responsibility for your own actions. Like, yeah, you know, you've stayed in these relationships or these unions for so long, or you've taken care of your mother, you did something, you know, with your mother or your family that really, like, you know, it's really emotional and things of that nature. And it can be like a deep rooted emotion and something that, you know, it's really hard to change. It feels like, if I change this, or if I even think about changing, it's like I'm a bad person, like I'm a bad being. But you're not, you know, you have to take responsibility and accountability for your own life. And just be more discerning about your lovers and your best friends, and how you are really able to service your family. So it's time for you to like seek more stability within your emotional state. That is the most important part. And trying to, like, if your relationships do survive, this is a next level of commitment. This is a deeper understanding of the other person, what they need and how they can give you what you need. This is like a more serious phase. Like, let's start doing things that are going to build up our heart, our learning, build up our household, build up us as individuals. Let's get serious about this. If not, I'm gonna get serious about my own life, what I want, what I love, because I have to. I must. I cannot live for other people. My cup is constantly empty. Are you going to pour in my cup? If the answer is no, then I think, Saturn will definitely make that clear at the end of this transit, 2025. Let's choose a message for you. Virgo, wow, Virgo, you have the strength card. You have to stay strong. These transits are not easy, especially Saturn in Pisces. This transit is not easy. It's very difficult and it's very uncomfortable to move away from, family or loved ones that you feel like you have been tied to, or you feel like they should want to change. They should want the best for me. Maybe let me just stay in this a little bit longer and see if they do. The answer is no, you can't do this. You cannot do this. You have to commit to yourself and to commit to the visions that you have for yourself. Excuse me, and being particular about who you're letting and seeing your energy and who you're focusing upon, being brave, being confident within yourself that you can get what you want, you can get what you need by being true to yourself. And at the end of this change, you're gonna have enough strength to make this possible. You're gonna have this deep understanding of, like, I deserve this and this is what I'm going to go after. I don't deserve this, It's like you now know what you deserve and you have the confidence to now voice this and to stand up, and you have the power now. You have passion for yourself, and that's really what this transit wants to teach you, to have more compassion and passion for yourself and the people that you allow in your energy. Because if they're not serious about you, why would you be serious about them? And this is something that you will learn over time, Virgo. That is beautiful. So, Virgo, that is all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Virgo. Hey, Libra. So, Libra, Saturn and Pisces retrograde is going to be happening in your 6th house. 6th house is opposite the 12th house of self-undoing, the ethers, healing, forms a square to the 8th house of inheritance, the psyche, letting go, forms a square to the 3rd house of communication and your skill set. So this Saturn turning retrograde, it's gonna, this is a time for you to really understand that your health comes first. Health is wealth. Eating more fruits, eating more vegetables, getting serious about these routines, not being lazy in a sense, or thinking that you have to drink water, you have to take care of your vessel to make anything happen. Because Saturn's about accomplishments and 6th house is about wealth. It's about work, it's about your daily habits, and we know that our daily habits make up our life experience. So it's important for us to always take care of our health first before we start going out and start doing things. So there could be, relationships weighing you down. There could be work habits that weigh you down and make you feel like you don't have the time to do these things. Saturn talks about time. Or you could be making up these excuses about you not having time. But, if you have 1 hour a day to do something, that should be used focusing on how you can learn better, how you can take care of yourself, or exercising, or cooking, a nutritious meal, something like that. And just it can feel very heavy. Even your body can feel heavy. Your body can feel like, your body can be like, oh, I don't want to work out. Every time you work out, like your bones are cracking or something, or you just feel really stiff. This is going to pass. Saturn in the 6th house is just a transit that Saturn talks about the bone structure and the jaws and stuff like that nature. So it's like you feel squeaky, but you're really not. It can, also has to do with aging. So even like some health issues could have came up. It's time for you to really, start trying to address those and start trying to align your mind, body, and soul in order to really figure out how you can better take care of yourself and take care of your vessel. That's most important within this lifetime, because how you take care of the self is how you're taking care of the mind, and how like your soul will reward you for those types of things. So this is definitely a really good period for self-reflection, reviewing, innovation, turning inward, looking at being consistent. Not You're not going to be very motivated, I will say that, and you can feel like there are some delays. Maybe you're not getting the body that you want. Maybe you've been working so hard but it's still not working. That's what Saturn does. This isn't just a temporary, like weighing down, but it does weigh you down, and even health issues and stuff like that can come up during this time. Saturn has to do with teeth too. So, you are in a great position to start like simplifying your daily routines, start editing and getting building off of what you actually want to have in your environment, the stuff that you actually want to do, the work that you actually want to do. Start evaluating those things and simplifying it in order to put yourself first. Start putting yourself and committing to programs or projects that you're able to, yes, use your expertise and things of that nature, but it allows you time to really focus on you and your soul, and definitely your soul's purpose, okay? And getting more organized and things of that nature. Whether you have to structure out time, Pisces talks about not having, like, there is no such thing as time. Everything is timeless. We are immortal. And Saturn talks about, yes, there is time. There's time. It's 1 o'clock right now. So just finding the balance between the two will help you definitely understand that you have to prioritize all of it and combine them and get more serious about it, get more mature about these things. Like, yeah, we don't have any motivation dwindles away, but consistency is like key for life. So just making this like a non-negotiable, like your health comes first, especially balance out your lifestyle with your day-to-day routines. And basically it's just like, this is a challenge, but you're going to conquer it at the end of this transit. Libra in 2025, you're definitely going to conquer it. You're going to be more serious about it. It's going to be easier for you to just get down and do push-ups. Like, yeah, I'm cooking, yeah, I'm writing, oh yeah, I'm at work, let me take 5 minutes, or let me take 10 minutes to go do 100 push-ups. Let me take this time to really figure out how I can prioritize my day-to-day routines. Excuse me, let me take 5 minutes, I need to go meditate. You prioritizing yourself and learning how to better take care of yourself is most important, because it can cut out a lot of unnecessary stress, all this stressfulness that tenses up in your body, the nerves that tenses up in your body, because Saturn has to do with like nerves, and it has to do with anxiety and fears and things of that nature. So you don't really have time to like mess around right now, because we're talking about the body structure, and not the body structure, we're talking about the health aspect, and nutrition and things of that nature is very, very important. And you must eat vegetables and you must eat fruit, okay? These are things that literally generate the vessel, okay? The food is information. Food, I like to call it fuel. So when you're eating fuel, right, you are downloading information. Your body is thanking you. Your body tells you what it doesn't like. Start listening to that. Saturn is a very strict and structured, but Pisces is about planet. But Pisces is about, a deep compassion, deep understanding, the ethers, intuition. So start listening to your intuition when it comes to what you're putting into your body. That'll help you learn things a little bit more. But make sure you're not putting everything into your body, because sometimes it can cause a health issue, especially with this transit here. Just drinking more water, getting exercise. Remember that your wellness comes first. So like, that is, it doesn't matter how life busy it gets, it doesn't matter what you want to do, the health aspect comes first. You have to get up, you have to start doing things, and you don't want to do it. Trust me, if you have kids, it's like there's all this pressure that is around you, that is attacking you. How can I? You have to throw some vegetables in, you have to throw some, whether you have to do it the day before, whether you have to, you know, search it up, learn more about it, you have to put these things into your vessel. And I know that you have been doing it, but this is the time that, you know, the retrograde is going to remind you of why you're doing it and why you need to continuously do this. Okay, so let's choose a message from, wow, that was so fast. And we have a lot of cards, so let me redo this. We're gonna choose a message from tarot because tarot, I feel like tarot is a little bit more serious, a little bit more down to the point, and that is exactly what, you know, Saturn is, very serious. Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords here. So what this is telling me is that you need to focus on your solar plexus chakra. This is the confidence, this is the willpower, but this is also your stomach, and this is also a brain. Okay, it's going to tell you exactly what you need, and you know, I'm telling you that you need vegetables. I'm telling you that you need fruit. I'm telling you that you need water, and you need things that really like are vital for the body, and that you have to learn about the body structure and things of that nature. But you know, there are certain plants and certain you know, ingredients that are vital for the body that we need to have and that we don't always get, you know, when we're eating. We have to make sure that, you know, vitamins and things of that nature. I wouldn't say vitamins, I would definitely say like herbs are definitely like something that regenerates the body and gives your body what you've been missing for a long time. And this is definitely time for you to start thinking about that. So, you know, this can, you know, put you in a victim mentality. Like, oh my goodness, like I can't. Pisces is about, you know, a victim mentality. But Saturn is about, okay, you could be a victim, but you can also be a victor. And just not succumbing to, you know, the anxieties and depressions that comes behind having to change the way that you are responsible for your health, the way you think you're responsible for your health. And your mentality towards it, and being restricted and things that are feeling restricted. It just, like, do you see this person right here tied up to like swords and things like that, or just like tying themselves up because it takes day by day. Saturn can make it feel like you're running out of time, but really this transition happens day by day, and this retrograde will like get you to understand that it does happen day by day. You cannot rush Saturn, but you must respect him because he's always leading you towards like the body that you want. And at the end of this transit, you will have so much understanding of how to take care of your body, what your body wants, and what your body doesn't want. And honestly, like getting the help that you need, you know, whether you need to go out and ask a nutrition what works well for you, whether you need to ask an herbalist what works well for you. You will now take that initiative to get this done. And you should take that initiative to get this done because, you know, help is out there. Not even help, information is out there. And it's there for you to start rebuilding up your life and the things that you need. And most importantly, please, Libra, remember that your body is the wealth. So that's all I have for you, Libra. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Libra. Hey, Scorpio. So, Scorpio, this Saturn and Pisces retrograde is going to be happening in your 5th house of creativity, self-expression, opposite the 11th house of friends, goals, dreams, and forms a sextile to the 7th house of best friends, lovers, exes, forms a square to the 2nd house of income and your self-worth and your confidence. So, your perspective on your, you know, unions and commitments related to like romance, communication, transformation, creativity, self-expression, singing, dancing are likely to shift. And now it's time for you to start reevaluating these things and rebuilding on the key areas of your life that you hold most dear and that you want to accomplish. And 5th house has to do with, you know, our creative projects, our children, getting more serious about those things and more like, okay, this is what I need to do to rebuild these avenues of my life. And, you know, just understanding that your energy and focus needs to be, you know, directed in that way, knowing that, you know, just considering that where your energy, like where your focus goes, like energy grows. So even if you have like a project that you're working on, even if you were in some type of love affair, this is about like getting serious about like, is it worth it? Is it worth your time? We're going over like previous projects, approaching in a new way, approaching this relationship in a new way. Like, do you really want to just do you want to like get more serious about relationship? It can be going to marriage and things of that nature, but only when it's something that it's serious, and that you want to approach these things like in a new way and work on it. Like, this is a work in progress. Everything that you do in the fifth house is supposed to be fun, but with Saturn in there, it's definitely a work in progress. It's almost like it's stopping you from it's creating these like creative blocks, it's creating these things, but it's up to you to like keep pushing, keep moving faster. Project that you were working on, they may not take off as quickly as you think they will, and it kind of like makes you be a little bit more stressed, and it's like, why am I even doing this? I just need to go and get a 9 to 5 job, or I just need to stop, I just need to be realistic. But no, Pisces is a sign that is not realistic. It is about the ethers. It's about, you can make your dreams possible when you truly imagine them as so. But remember, there are infinite ways for this to come into light. You can't more so focus on laser eye on one thing, but you have to work towards one thing in order for it to expand, and you work towards what truly brings you joy and what truly brings you happiness. Okay? And this is about like simplifying your life too, like the creative projects, like one at a time, or what is truly important that opens up different avenues for you. And it's not easy. These things happen over time, but just like leveling out these things that are important to you, and making them like, making them spark like an inspiration that's within you. Whatever sparks an inspiration that's within you, that's the direction that you must get serious about and you must go in. Like, you are a very creative soul, especially with this transit, and Saturn make sure that you're putting use to these talents, so you can see these talents, you can like see how these talents and the fifth house and like these projects are really like grand. You're like, wow, I didn't know that this can come out of me, or look at this amazing piece that I made, or this art piece that I made, or this song that I made. I want people to hear it. And you have to you have to understand that your talents and passions, they're going to grow over time. You have to continuously work towards them. Saturn is like, okay, you know how to write a song, you know how to write an art piece, what type of shade do you need, what type of thing. Like, it wants you to get to going on a long-term plan in order to bring you like long-term success. So just getting more disciplined about your projects, working through any fears that come up, because Saturn is about fears, anxieties, and nerves, and like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. I need to do more. And, let's not, you don't want to do that, because Saturn is, it blocks, it has obstacles. I like to think of our mind as computers, and when you click on a virus on the computer, all these things pop up. It's our programming. Our programming really it plays a certain like part within our minds that we really don't understand, and it's time for us to face, because Pisces rules 12th house of inner work, knowing that you cannot really get to these things without the inner work. Okay, that's what's really more like the most important, like getting to the bottom why you even chose this project, why you even chose this lover, and making it like, why did you do it? That's what the retrograde is like. What is it like? What was the original plan for these things? And just finding more like authentic expression in it, and being more authentic with yourself. So um just know that like whenever you make something new, or you create something new, or you go into a new relationship and things of that nature, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's magical, but it requires hard work. It requires dedication. Even with unions, it requires work. You can't just jump into a union and think that it's okay. No, you must work towards, you must understand the next person, you must, like, you have to work together. And then that is like what makes you feel heavy, because like I don't, Scorpio, you can be like, I don't want to open up to just anyone. I want it to mean something. I want to merge with them. I want them to know that I would die for them, and I want the same. So just getting more serious about that, like knowing that that's something that you want, and if the other person can give it to you. So just about developing on your confidence, using your voice, being more diligent about what you're focused on, and using your voice, because fifth house, has to do with like singing and stuff. So using your voice to sing songs that aid you in like healing, that aid you in self understanding. Um, um, yes, I hit, like there's like, okay, let me see. I love Kid Cudi, but there are new artists that I listen to, and they just speak about the value of like developing on your self worth. And it may feel like this is imposter syndrome, like I don't really know too much. I don't. It's time for you to get to know yourself, and then you'll realize like you do know, you are capable, you have everything that you need. It's just up to you to be authentic in your nature and the way that you're expressing yourself, and being more real about these things so that you can uncover your true potential, you know and even this like weighing down, with Saturn trying to weigh you down, it can really be like, maybe I am an imposter. Maybe I don't know. Maybe these fears and anxiety will subside over time. Now it's time for you to remember why you even want to do this, why you even started this, and to push through the limitations and push through the challenges. This transit will be ending in 2025, I believe. 2025, yes. And, it's really, it's temporary, but Saturn wants to get you this goal, and he's going to push you. Father's going to push you, and you're going to have a better sense of what it is to be creative and what it is to be an artist. Okay, creation comes from within. You cannot create, like there's a difference between creators and like content creators. You don't just want to create content to like make views or have views. You want to create what your heart is inspiring, what's expressing on the inside, your heart, because the fifth house has to do with your heart space, what is truly moving you, what you truly have passion for. That is what lies deeper within you, and you're really going to have a greater sense of understanding after this transit. So let's choose a message from tarot. Scorpio, I believe that this transit is a little bit more serious, so that's why we're going to choose tarot card. Wow, you have the Temperance, right? So Temperance talks about having balance, having patience. You must have patience, especially when it comes to creative projects, just because you hold them so dear to your heart, and you feel like, wait, what if people don't understand this? Like, what if people don't agree with this? But you do have to have this understanding, like when you create, you're creating from your heart space. So the right people who really feel your heart, who really want to see you, they will see you. And you are speaking from a space of knowing who you are and being okay with who you are, and that's all that you need. And also, having self-control. And this talks about finding solutions, so you will find solutions, Scorpio. And just know that rebuilding your life is the key, and not so much like putting in new bricks, but remembering why you wanted to build this life, remembering why, you're remembering how your creativity does add value, and your projects have so much value, and the romance could have value. But it's just really up to you to be confident within this nature, and start transforming the way that you're seeing romances, the way that you're seeing things, and getting a little bit more serious about them. So Scorpio, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you, Scorpio. Hey Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this Saturn in Pisces retrograde is going to be happening in your fourth house of the mother, your family, and your childhood, and your deep emotional state. How you develop your emotions here in the physical plane. But when it started, when you first came into this realm, earth realm, it opposes the 10th house of your career, your legacy, your reputation. It forms a sextile to the 6th house of health, forms a square to the 1st house of self. So, um, there can be times, there can be like an opportunity for you to reassess, for you to edit, for you to think about, your commitments that you have to your family, to your home, to your money, to your life, to where you live, to where you want to live. Just like redoing these aspects of your life, just going over and editing them, because there may be some delays, or you may be experiencing some delays. But this, whatever goal that you have, or if you want to buy a property or something like that, if you want to move somewhere, if you want to, take care of your mom or something like that, this is about you. Like, this is a long-term transit, because Saturn is about doing things long term, not for instant gratification, but for long term money, long term assets. Especially if it has to do with the self, so that it can stay. Your legacy is something that is, it doesn't take overnight to build. The relationship with your family doesn't take overnight to like get serious about. So just thinking about these, areas of your life, and definitely thinking the long term. Thinking like Saturn is definitely going to help you like make sense of this period, and make sense of like what is Father Saturn actually trying to teach you during this time. Saturn is a planet of tough love, and like restraint, but like limitations and responsibilities. But he's going to bring you what you want to have, if you're willing to work towards it and you're willing to trust in the process, basically. So reconnecting to your meaning of your commitment, your responsibilities. I know it may seem like you're not getting there fast enough, but Saturn, he governs over time, and it makes it feel like you're running out of time, or you don't have enough time, or you're getting older, or you're not. But Pisces is about being limited, being limitless, and having no boundaries. Okay, Saturn is about being limited, and combining the two is like, yes, we can, but then Saturn is like, are you going to do it though? Are you going to put in the work, or are you just going to, say that you can, or you're just going to hide away? So, or you're going to be resilient in your nature. Even if people tell you no, you still going to tell yourself yes. That is truly what, we're talking about here. And it's like, if your family or mother's telling you no, your childhood tells things in your childhood, the things that you thought about, your childhood traumas, they're telling you no, it's time for you to like really reassess them, and really like get in touch with them, and start reconnecting to that whole process, because we all have you know childhood traumas. But fourth house has to do with like our ancestors and our legacy, our lineage. So you can get in touch with that, and because Pisces is about the ethers and things of the nature, is getting in touch with that side of you, trying to connect to your ancestors, your roots, to make better understanding, to make better to have more patience with yourself and have more compassion with yourself, because we don't, like, you come here with traumas to resolve. And if you meet so many obstacles in life, it's because we're resilient by nature, but we meet so many obstacles in our life. Sometimes, they're necessary because we are meant to learn, but sometimes they're rooted from our childhood, and from, what our mothers did and our fathers did. And it's time, and we have to recognize those in order to transform it, not put it down, because all of our ancestors has positive and negative, but it's about embracing them and building upon them, because in our reality, they gave you all the tools. This is a stream of energies that you have access to. Yes, please. I love you, ancestors, but also like, okay, Pisces has to do with addictions and self-undoing. So that could be one of the patterns that you have to let go of, like laziness. Those are the negative aspects. But think about the positive aspects of Pisces. They're able to imagine their whole life. Like, come on, like, that's beautiful, because our imagination creates our life. Our mental formulas create our life. And um we are limitless in that way. We are not limited. We may feel as though, because we're in physical bodies, but remember, we don't actually die. We ascend. So we keep ascending in our life until it's time for us to go to the next realm. So just considering, like, your monies, your finances, how you're spending money, and how you know, your income and your personal assets and even your living arrangement, like just reassessing those things, and you know, being able to just breathe and just you know, like just take a breath. I would say definitely like meditate and do some type of spiritual practices. We're talking about Pisces, some type of Reiki, definitely spending time in meditation, because that was kind of like settle the nerves. Saturn has to do with like fear and nerves and, you know, anxieties. And also Pisces does too, but there is a way out of it. See, that's what I said. It's always a duel when it comes to certain things. It's like, yeah, it has like these negative aspects, but also has these positive ones that you can use and accept the bad ones and work with them. This is called self-acceptance. um so just, you know, working through all of those arrangements, and you know, you can feel you know, like an urge, like a resistance towards dealing with these, you know, dealing with these aspects, and wanted to like just hide away maybe in your house, and you know, even go travel somewhere. Like, okay, I'm gonna ignore that, you know, that bill. I'm gonna ignore the fact that my family is needing me. Or I'm gonna ignore the fact that I need to address my childhood trauma, and I'm gonna go to Iquitos. I'm gonna go to Peru. Like that's funny. um no, it does help. I'm not gonna lie, it does help, but you can't really run away from yourself. That's what Saturn is trying to teach you. You know, uh, that's so funny. Um, so yeah, these are things you cannot run away from. You know, your domestic, what people, you know, expect of you, domestically, you know, your children, what they expect of you, and you expect yourself expects something of you, your ancestors expect something of you. Think about it. We have an emotion body, a theoretical body, a physical body, an astral body, a mental body, an emotional body. We have a crown and star chakra. These are all aspects of our existence, of us as we are, and we have to get in touch with them and align them in order to truly make sense of things, especially when it comes to Saturn and Pisces, because these are serious things that are embedded within us. And you know, Saturn talks about having self-love, and he is the father of tough love. So whether, you know, you had this father structure or not, there is this pressure on you, you know, to really toughen up and to really start punching, you know, like yourself, like punching life, you know, and not punching life, but like start like getting like, you know, getting more serious about the life you live, because we actually live through this life. We can't just, you know, wallow away in the corner, you know. I mean, we cry throughout life. You're like, Jesus, like crying every single second. But it's okay, because it's like growing pains. That's what Saturn is teaching, like growing pains, you know? And just having like this deep attachment to your childhood memories can help you too. But just think about, you know, even though even the good ones can still be challenging to remember, because it's like, I wish things were still like this. And even with Pisces, it's like you can imagine something and you'll be right back there, and you're feeling this sense of like delusion, like, no, you're not a child. You must nurture your inner child and mature by setting a boundary behind who your inner child is. You cannot suppress your inner child, and you cannot suppress the emotions that you truly feel. However, you know, there's like this nostalgia when it comes to the childhood, but um you know, even the good memories, even, you know, it's time to think about all of the memories, you know. And you could even want to downsize on your, you know, living situation, or the lifestyle that you know, are you know, experiencing, and just embracing a little bit more of like, you know, Pisces doesn't want to own stuff, you know, but fourth house is about what you have in your house, just like getting rid of stuff. Like, I don't want this. Like, why am I holding on to something like this like it's gonna like run away from me? I have to just truly believe, you know. So you could be emotionally attached to these things. Just clearing out old clutter can help lighten the load within the mind and even within your emotional state. Like, let's say you had this like blanket, you know, with me, I had this blanket for when I was a child. I love this blanket. This blanket is sentimental, but just think about everything that this blanket holds. Me sleeping in at night, crying in at night, me having like happiness through this blanket, sadness, every type of emotion that you can feel, and I'm just dragging around throughout my life. Why? I already know how it made me feel. You know, I already know, you already know, Sagittarius, how this made you feel. It's time for you to really start like letting go and releasing these things and transforming the way that you see it and getting a little bit more mature about it, so you can like ultimately have freedom within your own heart's desires. Because you know, fourth house has to do like traditions too, like building your own family traditions. But if you're still holding on to, you know, that blanket, it's like you're still holding on to childhood trauma. You know, everyone has childhood trauma, and hold the good memories within you. That's all you have to do. So let's choose a message from um, tarot. I feel as though, you know, this trend's a little bit more serious. So yes. So we have the 10 of Cups. That's amazing. So this is about celebration. This is about domestic harmony, family reunions. This is beautiful because, you know, this is taking place within your fourth house. So you can feel like this sense of like a deep understanding towards, you know, your family patterns, you know, your family's tendencies, and you can feel a sense of like celebrating the good times and celebrating with them, but also committing to your own life and committing to your own, you know, assets and things of that nature, and committing to the direction that you want to go in. And you can even be, you know, experiencing like just even a peaceful coexistence with them. Like, you know, when you finally stand up, Sagittarius, you're like, no, I don't want to do this anymore, or this tradition, I must let go of this tradition, or I have to let go of this blanket. You start to feel a sense of like emotional stability, and you also feel a sense of like, yes, I can coexist with them now. I can, you know, I get out of survival mode because we have the root chakra here. I can get out of survival mode, get out of my emotions, and start really, you know, possessing possessing more faith within me, and more faith that I can do things, or that I don't have to rely so much or be so fearful that if I change the way I think about my family, they're not going to accept me. And that's what Pisces does too. They change in order to like really fit in with the family, or really fit into with their surroundings. But you can coexist by just being who you are. You know, you see them like celebrating, and the kids there, that could be you and your family, you know, creating different types of traditions, different types of you know, family gatherings, and celebrating with them and things of that nature. But it all starts with you, and it really all starts with you, like, you know, just facing these problems and not running off to and keep those Peru. So that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Hey Capricorn. So Capricorn, the Saturn and Pisces transit is going to be happening in your third house, and is opposite the ninth house of travel, higher education, forms a square to the fifth house of creativity and self-expression, and forms a square to the 12th house of self-undoing and the ethers and healing. So it's important for you to remember, Capricorn, that Saturn is your traditional ruler. It is your ruler, right? And you're no like stranger to the seriousness, to the hard work, to the discipline, to the resiliency. You're no you know, this is what you have to do in order to master self, especially if you are a Capricorn rising. This is your ruling planet, okay? And you know, it's your chart ruler, and you have to work extremely hard in this lifetime in order to get, you know, a piece of the pie. And it's like, you understand, through hard work, through dedication, through persistence, through having passion for certain things, you're able to become successful by building up a strong, successful pattern. So with it going into your third house though, this is, you know, the third house is about your communication. It's about your mindset. It's about your skills. It's about the way that you speak, excuse me, the thoughts that are within your mind. And it can be really difficult for you during this time, because you could be really critical about your own ideas. You can have fear behind surrounding how to deliver these ideas, how to build up your self like skills and your talents and stuff. Like, is it really worth it? Kind of thinking, like, this voice inside your head kind of like, you can't really do this. Or you're thinking like, why is these things happening so slow? It's so uncomfortable. I'm usually great at these things. I'm usually great at being resilient. I'm great at getting things done. I know how to make things work. I know how to get to achievements. But it's like with your speech now, honestly, when Mercury's in Saturn, it's kind of like you're talking all over the place. And what you're speaking is from a space of vulnerability, of compassion, but you kind of got to listen a little closer to really get what it actually means. So with Saturn being in Pisces, this is really like you have to hone into your unique voice and what you have to say, and even your mindset needs to be just like looked at and going over, restructured in order for this to work for you. Well, that's what Saturn is going to make happen, because with Saturn being in return, it's going to remind you, like, remember that you told me that you want to build on your mindset and build on your skills, and you wanted to be more authority. You wanted your voice to have more authority within the world. You wanted to have more authority when it comes to talking to your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles. You wanted to have more authority within the community. By using your speech, you can make this possible, but you have to face these fears, face these anxieties, right? So with Saturn going in retrograde, this is a time for us to renewing your assets, reassessing your assets and your commitments, your projects, things that you're working on, whether it's writing, whether it's public speaking. And just think about this, like, if you're a Capricorn and you do have to speak publicly, it could be really hard, almost like, now your stomach is in knots every single time that you have to give a presentation. And it wasn't like this before. This is temporary. This transit is only going to be until 2025, but it is serious. It is like getting you to be more confident in what you have to say and really start trusting in what you have to say, even if you think it's just so like out of this world. You have to use your authoritative voice to speak confidently in your ideas, the way you interact with people around you. Use it in a more meaningful way. You might find yourself being like thinking about, okay, what should I say? How can I say it? Just thinking much more. You are Earth sign, but you could be thinking like much more about how is this going to be delivered? If is this going to be delivered the right way? Should I even share this? Should I say this? Just a little bit more like self-cautious about the way that you're expressing yourself. But remember that your own ideas, you have to push through this, because your own ideas matter so much. What you want and what you say, it matters. And my bone is cracking right now. I have Saturn in the first house, and my bones never freaking crack so much. It's so funny. But just staying active and stuff like that always helps. But you have to practice these things. So you got to get in the mirror, Capricorn, and you got to start saying things out loud. You got to start, really getting serious about your skills. How can you move forward, especially when it comes to your voice, your throat chakra? It holds so much power. Our voice is the power that makes up our universe. And we cannot be criticizing the things that we think, say, or even the skills that we do have, and just start developing on them to make them into like a successful like part of our life. This is like a successful strategy or something like that, right? And this can even be like short-term travel, so it can be harder for you to travel and things of that nature, or it could be affected a little bit. I could feel like I can't really, or I'm fearful to even go to the next day, or to go and see anything, because I don't know what's going to happen. What if this is just a lot of what if. And it's time for you to like simplify and like structure out your life and the way that you're speaking. even with your skills and like where you're going, if you make a plan about it, it might be more better. Like, I mean, it might be more better. It might be more easier for you to get done because you're making a plan. Now you have a plan A, B, and C. We're going here for this reason. And you actually want to be making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons too. Like, it actually means something to you. Like, it has a purpose, and you just want to find ways to reconnect with the purpose of the things that you're doing, because you know this can help you get back on track. This can help you start believing your vision a little bit more, and the things that you see and hear within your own mind, and being able to like connect with them, and not be so critical about them. You know, when we get ideas and things from the universe, because you know Saturn is in Pisces, so you are getting these ideas, you are getting these thoughts, you are hearing, you know, like this is something you cannot ignore, okay? And your soul is like urging you to do something. This is the soul's mission. Whenever this is happening, you have to follow it, no matter how scary it sounds, no matter if you don't know which way you're going to go. You start from step one. That's what Saturn is doing. You start from step one. What is this idea? Write it down. Let yourself see it. Let you make plans on it, you know, let it get serious about it, and start reconnecting to the reason why you even wanted to start it. So let's choose a message from tarot. This is a bit more serious, so excuse me, I'm definitely going to use tarot because it's a bit more serious transit. You know, Saturn is the tough love planet. It's the father, you know, that Capricorn. I actually have Saturn in my first house, like originally. So this is just fun. Like this is just so fun for me. Like Saturn, like you must respect Saturn, right, Capricorn? You must respect the lessons that he is teaching you. He's teaching about self-worth. You have it in the first house too. So teaching about self-worth, teaching you about putting your best stuff forward, and about how you can be successful just from you doing the work, you believing in yourself, you getting up and being resilient, you stepping over the obstacles, you not letting the setbacks make it seem like you cannot accomplish this. And that is, you know, that is what you must focus on, Capricorn. Even when it comes to communication, maybe like, you know, your interests and things of that nature, you're like, or even your socializing skills, you're like, maybe I should not talk, or maybe I should, you know, not have these ideas or change them, or maybe it's not, maybe it's just not what it seems, I'll just put it down. No, you have to continue to move forward. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, and you have this guy right here. He's building up his dream. He's building up his, this is, you have to do what makes you happy, Capricorn. And what I mean by that is, what is your soul burning for you to do? What do you think about yourself doing? Use your skills to maximize off of what you truly want, and use your words to maximize this too. Like, you know, the third house is Gemini, and it is about your what you're saying, where you're speaking to yourself. Do your words align with your actions? Make sure that is. If you tell yourself you cannot do something and you're doing it, your body's already thinking that you can't do it. So it's not gonna be right. It's gonna cause you to have anxieties. Think, I can do this. I will do this, even if you have to work this hard to get it. You're not, you know, you're not you know, what you call it, but this, you're not like shying away from working hard, but mastering your skills, you know, going after, this is skill development. This is third house matters. Skills, your skills development, this is exactly what you're this is exactly what you're doing. This is exactly what Saturn is trying to teach you. Like, even if you're the only one out there, like making your dreams a reality, you're gonna master your skills at the end of this transit. You're gonna become a master of your own voice, and of your skills, and of the way that you see the world, even within your community, within your brothers and sisters and things of that nature. You're going to become a master of the talk, the say, the voice vibrations. And it's just about you understanding that your own craft holds value when you say that it does. So just keep that in mind, Capricorn. That's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Capricorn. Hey, Aquarius. So Aquarius, this Saturn in Pisces transit is going to be happening in your second house of self-worth, opposite the eighth house of your inheritance and the psychic mind. Forms a sextile to the fourth house of your emotions, the mother, the family, your emotional intelligence. And this forms a square with the 11th house of goals, dreams, friendships, and groups. So the the Saturn retrograde can be very, very heavy, because this is this is the second house. So like, how do you feel useful? What are you, like, how can you, that Saturn is trying to teach you right here to be confident within yourself and your self-worth. You cannot make money, and you cannot make paper money, and you cannot have income if your self-worth, your resources rely on you to be confident in order to go get them. Saturn really makes this clear. Your responsibilities, your commitment require you to have healthy lifestyle, life patterns, life cycles. These are long standing results, so it can be really heavy and causes to bring up some like financial matters. It brings up like these problems that you have about self-esteem. It just brings up this like, oh, like, I actually don't like myself. And Saturn is really harsh, and it's like, if you don't like yourself, you need to go into the ethers and figure out what you don't like yourself for, and really start getting more serious about you and about what you have to offer to this world. And this is about you sorting and organizing, like taking steps that needs to be taken in healthy ways that relate to your finances, your business, your security, your self-worth, your confidence, your talents, and your resources, and what makes you feel comfortable within this lifetime. And Saturn will teach you this, but you will always feel discomfort when you are not truly being authentic to who you are. No matter if it's weird, no matter if it's something you feel like others won't accept, Saturn is teaching you that it's going to affect your finances if you don't accept yourself, your income, your security, how you even feel valuable. It's going to affect all of it. Your resources, this is about your home too. The second house is about the stuff that you put inside of your home, your valuables and things of that nature, plants and things of that. You can't put plants and things of that nature in your home and think that it's going to help you boost your self-worth. It can temporarily, but you have to go in and you have to start transforming. Because it's opposite the eighth house, you have to start transforming your whole mind around these things, and you can really experience delays, in some act, and feeling like you're being held back in these aspects of your life, like self-worth and your talents and stuff, because you have to come to new conclusions, new reasons why you love yourself. Everything that you don't like about yourself, start saying other things that you do like about yourself, and the other ones you will learn to over time you will start to learn to accept, because you're shifting your perspective. Definitely in this house, you want to do affirmations, because the second house, you are fixed sign, and the second house is ruled by Taurus, which is a fixed sign. And, it's about, fixed signs, they're stubborn, and it's really difficult to change. And you just want to make sure that with this current transit, you understand that your happiness is going to come from transforming the way that you see yourself and getting more serious about that. So this is definitely impacts your friendships. This impacts your goals. This impacts your your legacies and things of that nature, or even your career. Because once again, when you don't feel confident within yourself, it's very hard to make paper money, or for you to see the value in the things that you create or the things that you have to bring into this world. And even if it has to do with your psyche, it's about changing, these things. This in sex out of the fourth house, it has to do something with the mother, some type of feminine energy that does affect the way that you are seeing yourself, or your family can affect the way you see yourself, or you can, your family could be telling you to see yourself in this type of way, and it could be causing you to be like emotional, because maybe you're not like that. Maybe you are, but you don't want to be like that, or you want to continuously grow, or start learning new things about yourself, So This is definitely about, like, paper money and reviewing and reflecting on the things that you have around you. And Saturn is your traditional ruler, Aquarius, before Uranus. And this is definitely just like telling you to take yourself more seriously. Everything that you write down and you say that you don't like about yourself, make sure you write down 10 things that you do like about yourself. If you can't find anything that you like about yourself, it's time for you to take the journey inward and start thinking about, what are you actually good at? Like, what makes you feel as though you should exist? And then if you don't have, what makes you feel like you shouldn't exist, excuse me, it's time for you to get help, because Pisces has to do with like our mental space, and also mental crisis. So thinking about yourself in such a self-pity way, without any light, without any, like, I like this, is very harmful. It's very harmful to you, and it's very harmful, and that's when Saturn comes in and starts teaching lessons about these things, like even losing teeth, like, just be careful, with this, because this is the second house. And, it's definitely about your self-worth, and you need to be more responsible about the way that you're spending money too, because this is also spending money. So don't feel like, oh, if I have this nice plant in my house, it's gonna make me feel better, because over time it won't. Because you have to have happiness within you, and that's what Saturn is trying to teach you. Saturn in Pisces is like, you have to have self-compassion for yourself, forgive yourself, move forward. Don't feel the self-pity so deeply that it puts you into these emotional and mental crises. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and get help if you need to, or get some assistance. I will advise you, like, holistic health, holistic medicines, holistic practices, meditations, Reiki, crystals, getting those things, but actually using them every day. Don't just get everything, just use them every day. Journaling, things of that nature, exercising. These are all things that can boost up your confidence and make you feel like you're worthwhile, because you are worthwhile. And it's really hard to see that, because sometimes, Saturn brings up this fear of, like, okay, but I did this, or, it could be like, some deceit or something like that. You could have lied or something like that, or you could have not, like, taken something seriously, or you could have been addicted to something. There's, like, all of these things do not take away from who you truly are. And you have to forgive yourself for these things, and let them, they feel heavy right now, but they will feel lighter. um Definitely focusing on your resources, start, thinking about what you have. Definitely save during this time. Don't possibly buy things just because you think they will make you feel better. Even when it comes to, like, buying, like, singing bowls, or buying, if you're not going to actually use them and dedicate time to it, don't buy it, because everything really does come from within. You are your own singing bowl. Start talking to yourself, Aquarius, like somebody who loves themselves. Affirmations, most importantly. Nature, second house is nature. Getting out into nature will definitely help you a lot during this time. And that's why I feel like the holistic medicines, they will help you. They have herbs for everything: anger, anxiety, shame, everything nature has to offer us is so beautiful. We must start using these things to rearrange our subconscious and rearrange our mindsets. um you can, definitely, save, create, like, some type of budget plan, get in touch with what actually makes you feel secure. It can be really important for you right now also, like being feeling secure, or having, like, a abundant financial future. These things that you can really think about, but remember, it is literally embedded and intertwined with your self-confidence. It's so important for you to remember that, Aquarius. So just start getting in touch with how you spend your money, how you spend your time, where your energy is going, and making investments within yourself. But not buying things for yourself, but more like investing energies and times and focuses onto what you actually need and what makes you feel self-worth. And it is definitely not going to be a physical thing. I can definitely tell you that. This wasn't on the whole time. I hope that, it's you can still, you know, hear. But this is definitely a time for self-reflection and for you to you know, be more committed to yourself and to your self-worth, and just accepting yourself as you are now. It's very difficult, I know. Like, you know, during my Saturn transit, to be honest, like I lost a tooth and I was just like, how? Like, how? I was, you know, sad, crying, just like, oh my goodness. But it's like a lesson. Take care of yourself. Who's going to take care of you? And you can be feeling as though, because um you can be feeling as though, like, you know, with me it was always about like the past, you know, always about when I was 15, 16, you know, about what happened then, you know. But you can't let that dictate the life experience and the wise, you know, in the way that you grew, you have wisdom to use now. Now you have to apply this knowledge, you have to apply this wisdom to your life. So let's just choose a message from, there we go. Wow. Aquarius, this is amazing. You have the Ace of Cups. So this is personal fulfillment. This is about, you know, new love, emotional awakening, growth, compassion, creativity. This is beautiful. I feel like all of the signs had the perfect like card, you know. So Saturn is a tough love teacher, but I'm telling you, he does pay out the end of it. You're gonna be so amazed at your natural talents, amazed at what you can actually do throughout your life when you start believing in yourself, when you start having that self-worth. Grab some citrine crystals, put them on your stomach, you know, put them on your throat, put them on your heart chakra, put them mostly on your stomach, because your stomach is like, you know, has to do with your self-worth, your solar plexus chakra. It has to do with your self-worth. It has to do with your confidence, your well-being, your willpower. Okay. And this also stands for, like, you see them like offering something new, like you have a new chance. You have a new chance to start anew. You can either like continue to not like yourself, continue to do the self-hate, or now you can ball it all up and throw it in the trash and start throwing that away. Now it's time to throw those self-sabotaging things away. I'm unworthy, because, oh, trust me, I was there with you. I was like, how can I, like, why would this happen to me? But then I start to think to myself, like, there's so many parts of you that is like special within the inside, and that no one can take away. These are physical vessels. We must understand that we must take care of them. That is the realization. You know, not that we haven't been taking care of them, not that we have been disregarding them, but more so about, you have the chance to now do it, and that transform your life. You look different, you feel different, and no matter what, you start to feel this fire surging through you, and you have this more like this compassion and love for yourself that cannot be taken away. So that's all that I have for you, Aquarius. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aquarius. Okay, hey Pisces. So Pisces, Saturn in Pisces is going to be in your first house of self identity. It's going to be opposing the seventh house of unions, one-on-one relationships, exes. Forms a sextile to the third house, the mind, communication, your skill set, and it squares the 10th house of your public reputation, your image, and your authoritative stand in a world. So Saturn and Pisces in the first house, this is time for you to like slow down, start rethinking your responsibilities, your duties, where you're putting your focuses on. Start like reviewing things. You can feel really disconnected with your purpose during this time, and you know, a sense of those responsibilities that were brought on to you by this Saturn return. Saturn return in the first house, if you're a Pisces rising, it's very difficult because it's within the body. So it makes you feel a little bit more heavier, like slower, maybe even feeling like you're aging, or feeling like, you know, you're running out of time to make a legacy for yourself. Saturn and Pisces, people with Pisces risings, especially with Saturn in the first house, you can be like a late bloomer, you know, you kind of just figuring out like how do you add purpose in a world that is so freaking cold and so harsh sometimes. So you know, being Saturn and Pisces, this is my first transit for Saturn and Pisces, my first return. So, it's just about like finding a purpose. But it can be brought on with like all these extra responsibilities, weighing your body down, making you feel like, can I? But Pisces, you absolutely can. This is a time for you to start believing in yourself, start reviewing things that you've been saying to yourself, these little self identities that you started, um, like making your world around. Even when it comes to relationships too, or the brothers, the sisters, the aunts and uncles, like how do they play a part in, the pressures that you feel, like on your mind and on your body. First house is the mind, it is the self, it is like you, and how also like you're perceiving what's going on in your reality. This is time to like the heaviness can be like really like magnified during this time, and also you could be feeling like your perceptions of your responsibilities alter during this time, and feeling like your overall purpose requires you to like learn about yourself and rely on yourself. um like getting your life into order, but most importantly getting yourself into order, thinking about reviewing like what is my passion, what makes me feel like I want to get up and do these things, how do I feel, with the squares to the 10th house. This can be like a standstill of your, how you're showing up in the world, your public image, your career, because with Pisces, it's like you cannot work a 9 to 5. You have to use your creative, endeavors in order to make things possible for you. But you have to learn how to make this possible, and that's what Saturn is getting you to. That's the purpose of what Saturn is getting you to do, like rely on yourself in order to get things in order. And moderation, doing things in moderation, returning to previous projects that can be particularly rewarding right now, because it's like focus on things that you are already working on, and think about why you even started to work on these projects. Saturn can also impact like your friendships, your unions, your happiness that you have towards the goals, and it feeling like it's so weighed down, it's so harsh, you have to go through so much just to get things done, or you don't really know, about certain things. And it's time for you to like just stop, sugar coating things, and stop putting like rose colored glasses over what you're actually feeling and what you're actually going through. And this resistance towards your goals, or feeling like maybe they're just too far away and I should stop now. Just maybe you need to learn something new. Maybe other people in your life are putting these pressures within your programming, and it's really hard for you to focus on these things. So you can have a social pursuit towards something, a project, a creative project that you're working on. It could be feeling like you're doing so much work, but it's not really bearing any fruit. Saturn moves really, really slow, and this transit's gonna last for 2.5 years, 3 years. Just honestly, just think about it um, for the next year. But for Pisces risings, after 35 things will start to move after the wisdom year of 35, because we are infinite. So after you gain the next level, the wisdom of like 33, 36, 35, you will start to really start understanding what is important to you, what drives you, and start reassessing like your pursuits, start reassessing, like, how can you actually make these goals something tangible and something to work with. But it's very pressuresome. It's very, it fills you up with a lot of like anxiousness, anxiety to get things done. Maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm this, maybe I am running out of time, like my bones hurt, I'm cracking, and things of that nature. Like, why are these things happening to me? But it's time for you to really, you're not, Saturn has to do with age and time and old people, like older generation, like people who have a lot of like elderly wisdom and things of that nature, like the ascendant master. So just relying on the mature part of you right now is going to help you get through this whole transition. And remember, Saturn is our father, and he teaches us about self-love and restrictions and things of that nature. But it's not always fun, and it's not always like loving, because remember, Pisces is like a cosmic being who loves love. And it's just within the first house, you must love yourself first, as first of all, before you start like loving other things. Because with Pisces rising, Saturn is trying to, even Pisces is a sign, a lot of your life has been in victimhood. It could be like people taking advantage of you, people taking, people taking advantage of you, and you can feel as though there is some type of like um self-undoing process when it comes to this, almost like they have done all of these things to you. But it's time for you to like get up and start really being like, how can I make myself better? I can't rely on my brothers and sisters, I can't rely on anyone. It's time for you really to just rely upon yourself, your own gifts, your own talents, Pisces. So just think about it. Like, you have to stop with the sugar coating. You have to stop with the, talking nicely, and start, saying goodbye to patterns and things that no longer serve you. And even during this time, like, it makes it a little bit more easier to let these things go, and to start really being who you are, and, start showing up as yourself. This is really a powerful transformation for you. And it is a lot of growing pains, Pisces. It's growing pains, trust me. I'm right there with you. Like, growing pains is the great phase, is a great words for this, to get you through. Like, you're getting a little bit more real about yourself, and your truth more than others. And now, with it going into retrograde, it sounds like you're really starting to think about, okay, why did I even start this? I know that I love this. You can't let anyone stop you from doing the things that that can truly bring your life to the next level, or that can help your relationships. Most importantly, can help yourself in the way that you self-identify. But this transit, you can get, you can be able to like hold on to muscle faster. You can even slim down. When it comes to Saturn, I know that definitely happened to me. Just slimming down and being able to like keep off weight and things of that nature. But if you naturally have Saturn in the first house, no matter which sign, that's what Saturn is there to do. It just restricts you. And it's just time for you to really understand that this is a transformational period, and that it's time for you to also like peel back the layers of your identity and see and find out what's actually under there, and start uncovering things about yourself, whether you have to spend time in solitude. Even with Saturn being in Pisces, you could want to spend time in solitude. You can actually feel more at peace spending time by yourself. It's like you're in a union, but you want to still spend time by yourself, because it's like now you can start hearing God clearly. You can hear God as clearly. You can hear your ancestors talking to you clearly. You can even hear yourself think. Definitely with Pisces rising, because you have Virgo opposite the sign. You definitely have a partner who is a little bit more critical of you, or even someone who is a little bit more more organized than you, more basically they're the shadow side of you. Everything that you are not, they kind of reflect it back to you, and it helps you build upon your character. And you have to let it help you build upon your character. And that's here what Saturn is teaching you as well. So just prepare to go through like this isolating period, and it can feel really lonely too, but you have to restructure, you know, your personal values, who you are, and you have to outgrow, and then you could be outgrowing everything around you, and you need to trust in this process and remember that the growing pains, they do fade with time, and growing pains are normal, and you eventually get to it. Can just feel really like heavy right now, and like, am I doing the right thing, you know? It's just like this lingering feeling of fear and nerves that come to the surface, especially within your own identity. Like, am I really this person? Like, it's this imposter syndrome that comes to you. But if it means a lot to you, and you know that, you know, your soul is urging you to do it, and if you sat in meditation and you had this conversation with God, as you had this conversation with God, you know, just be prepared when it comes to, because this is something that you want to be successful in. After this transit, you're going to be the master of self. Okay, so let's choose a message. I feel like this is a little bit more serious, this transit, so let's choose a message from tarot. What do I have for Pisces? I hope you can still hear me. I don't have the mic on. Okay. So we actually have 3 cards. I only need 1. Spirit guides, please give me 1 card for Pisces. Okay, we have 1. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, but 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So this card tells us that remember, Pisces, like your sacral chakra, when you allow someone into your sacral chakra, you are allowing their traumas, their fears, and all of that, you know, in you. Especially if you are a goddess, you are the receiver of this. And most of the time they're not worthy, you know, because Pisces rising attracts people who need help, you know, attracts people who are emotionally unstable and mentally unstable, because they think as though they can help them. But you have to now help yourself, Pisces. And also there's this, you know, mindset that you have over monies, like over paper monies, over stabilities. Can you really reach stabilities? Maybe you're even financially dependent on another right now, and you know, during this trend, it's like asking you get more dependent on yourself, what you add to the table, what you can bring to the table. And you can even start feeling like senses of failure, you know, because you know, Saturn wants to achieve. It is ruled by Capricorn. They want to achieve, they want to accomplish, and you can feel as if it's not happening fast enough, it's not being achieved. It's not, you know, what people think that it should be, you know, brothers, sisters, and partners. If it's not what the public wants, then maybe you're not successful at it. But you have to keep going, and you have to keep building yourself up, spending time in nature. Honestly, do you see him talking to the bird? That is you, Pisces. You have to spend time with nature, talking to nature, even spend time by the mountains, you know, to spending time in solitude, to hear your thoughts clearly, and just keep moving in the direction of your magic, because your magic is within the first house. This is your personal power. You're going to be a master at this, Pisces, a master at the self, and how to heal and how to regenerate yourself, even through the trauma, through the adult trauma, through the, you know, relationship trauma. And you're going to be able to see things without the rose colored glasses, but see things for who and what they truly are, and still being compassionate towards yourself. It is a time to be definitely compassionate towards yourself, Pisces. That's all I have for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Pisces.